Good afternoon. I'm Brent Wilsey, and welcome to today's Smart Investing Daily Briefing.
And I'm Chase Wilsey. It's good to be back on Facebook Live.
Yeah, we did a radio show last week, pretty much all week, the Big Biz show for Sully, so we're kind of doing that and didn't do our post. We're back doing the post now. And some big news today. Everybody's up in arms about, oh my gosh, a 20% tariff on Canadian lumber. How in the world can Trump do that? What is going on here?
You know, it's just... The media loves to point out all of the negativity surrounding it, and there's a lot to the story behind the scenes, of course.
Yes, because actually, you may not realize, but this has been going on since the 19th century, and actually, George W. Bush actually had a truce on this and limited the imports here, which expired in 2015. So all President Trump is doing is saying, wait a minute here, you're not kind of dumping, that's probably not a good word, you're not competing fairly, and Canada does have an advantage that the United States mills don't have.
Well, absolutely, because they actually have all of their forest land, not lumber land. Forest land is owned by the government. So then they subsidize that land, creating an artificially low price for the price of lumber, which makes it very difficult here in the United States because it's all private land for forests, which again makes it very expensive to produce those lumber mills and produce lumber.
Yeah,
so unfair advantage there.
Yeah, the mills have to grow the land, take care of the land, and everything else, whereas in Canada, they just say, oh, okay, here it is, and we'll charge you a small royalty so you can take our lumber. So not a fair comparison. That's what's going on here. And again, please keep in mind, this is not brand new. This fight on soft lumber has been going on since the 19th century.
Well, and there's concerns too. It's just like, oh my gosh, we're being so mean to our friend Canada. And I don't have the numbers exactly, but I mean, going back again to that 19th century, I mean, they've done some things back and forth where, I mean, it's not a perfect relationship. I mean, no relationship is perfect, of course.
Right.
So, I mean, a 20% tariff on this lumber, not too big of a deal, and we'll get down in those numbers for you here.
Exactly, yeah. Because again, it appears kind of subsidizing the lumber. Lumber mills, can't compete. We kind of showed you why and told you why. But what I think is amazing is the National Association of Home Builders came out. They estimate the increase with this 20% tariff on a home about $1,236. That's not very much when compared to the average cost of a home or the median price of a home.
Oh, absolutely. And again, people pointing out, I mean, I read a couple articles today like, oh my gosh, the price of the homes are going to be up over $2,000, $1,000. Well, let's take a step back here and look at this. The median price of a home is $315,000. And all these home builders are saying, well, I mean, we may pass on some of the cost to the consumer, or we're going to eat a little bit in the gross margin.
Right.
And again, not a big impact here when you look at the grand picture.
Right. And the median price is the homes right in the middle. If you look at the average, it's even more. The average home in America is at $388,000. Percentage-wise, at $1,236 on $315,000, 0.4%, 0.3% if you use the average. And I really got to ask, if you go and buy a house like, oh my gosh, I know you raised the price of home, it's now $316,236, I know you're cheating me. You're not going to know this. The media is just blowing this up out of proportion, just irritates the hell out of me.
Well, the other thing, too, you got to look at is the housing data came out for the house prices. I believe it was up about 6% year over year just based off of supply and demand.
Right.
So a 0.3, 0.4% increase, you're not going to notice it as a consumer.
Now you understand the numbers, so don't get so upset when you see that on the news tonight, like, oh my gosh, how terrible it is. Oh, wait, it's only 0.3%, not a big deal. Let's talk about a home builder that maybe it's now time to invest in a home builder. We're going to look at the Lennar Corporation symbol, LEN. They're currently around $51 a share. Their high for the year, $53.79, getting close to that, and the low is $39.68. Their sales are up 15%, but their earnings are down 3.6%, perhaps because we've talked about this before, the high cost of labor and so forth. Hard to find people build those houses.
Exactly. And then taking a look at the valuation ratios, the current price to earnings multiple is 14.9, well below that industry average of 35.1. And that industry average looks quite high, so I'd want to take a closer look at that and say, why is that industry average so high? Also, price to tangible book looks very strong at 1.7, again below the industry average of 16.7. Again, that industry average looks quite high, so we'd want to do a little more research into that. And then looking at the balance sheet, no current ratio for the company. Reason being, think about these home builders. a lot of land on the balance sheet. Land is what we call a long-term asset, so really going to skew that current ratio and also the balance sheet. And debt to equity, 98%, a little bit higher than I would like to see, but would have to look deeper into saying what's going on with that debt.
And go on to November 2018, we see that earnings are expected to be $4.69. That's a pretty good number. Gives you a target sell price of $77.39. So we like what we see here. Make sure you do your own research, understand the company. But I think now with this little pullback today, again, it's not going to be a big deal, this whole number situation. It might be time to put a home builder in your portfolio.
I mean, I was shocked that I think the home builder industry was down about 2% today on this news, and there were some other things in there, but I think this was the big thing driving down the broader-based home builder index. I was just shocked by that data.
So I know, I don't know if we're going to bring this up or not. I know our workshop on Thursday is pretty full. We're going to talk about it today. I mean, we're pretty much full. We got maybe 1 or 2 seats left.
Yeah, I mean, it's coming up quick, and we're excited about it. Again, talking about the 10 financial mistakes that you probably are making that could
don't realize it.
Yeah, exactly. That could hurt your financial future. And we'll be holding that here in the office, located in Scripps Ranch, right by the high school. I'm sure you're familiar with Jerome's as well, right there.
Not at Jerome's, at our office.
Yeah, exactly. Right by Jerome's.
Yeah.
But that workshop will be held on Thursday at 6:30 p.m. You want to register for that workshop? Go to our website, smartinvesting2000.com.
You can also call the office at 858-546-4306. I'm Brent Wilsey. Have a great day, and we'll talk more probably on Thursday. Maybe we should do another one. What do you think?
We'll try.
All right.